All my life, I've been the kid of a superhero, but really, I'm like the opposite of my mom, Starfire. She can fly and shoot star bolts. I can't do any of that. And since I'm not my mother, what happens next is going to be totally messed up.
Oh man, you gotta admit, DC is trying, right? I mean, the comic industry is really trying to appeal to like everyone now, you know? Manga is pretty much whooping the comic industry's ass right now here in the States, but we're really trying to come up with just whatever the fuck we can come up with, I guess, that will just engage newcomers as well as, I suppose, people that are already fucking fans of, you know, comic books and DC characters, I guess. So if you like Starfire and you've ever liked Teen Titans or just the Titans of DC, the DC Titans, I guess maybe you'll like this. But I totally doubt it. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about this I Am Not Starfire shit that came, but when this came out, I was like, damn, like that's pretty funny. And I've been seeing a lot of videos and stuff and hearing people talk about it, and it is funny that they thought this was a good idea, first of all. Second of all, I mean, does this mean that Starfire is like a bad mom? I mean, Starfire is like a good, cool character who always seems like she's so fun and like, oh my god, and she seems like a preppy character and like preppy woman character, you know? And it's like, but if you're telling me she had a daughter that just was, times are hard, you know? I mean, I know we all grow up differently, and you know, not every parent is good at being like the best parent they could possibly be, and you know, as kids, you know, kids will go through things in life that will make them and shape them into how they are. But I have to say, if this is really what Starfire was able to conceive, this is what she conceived, it's like, man, she didn't do, I wonder who the dad was. I think that's my main question on this whole I am not Starfire. It's like, who is her father? Like, I wonder who her dad is, you know? Like, is it Black Bolt? You know, was he just like, and then, you know, Starfire was like, and then out came the baby? Or like, you know, was it, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a superhero, because if my parents were heroes, obviously I would kind of want to be like somewhat like that. I mean, I guess if you didn't have any of their powers, I guess you'd be all bummed and like butthurt, but at the same time, fuck that, I'd still be like, motherfucker, I'm gonna be a hero, you know? Like, you not see what my parents can do? Even if I can't do something like that, I'm gonna do something similar to that, you know? Like, I don't know. But yeah, like, I can't believe that this is just something that I'm getting off topic, but I cannot believe this is something that they thought was gonna work, you know? And it's just the audience that it's trying to appeal to. I mean, like, really? Like, this is the character that you want to like, oh my god, it's gonna be totally messed up. What happens because I'm not my mom? You want that to be the character that you want young kids and young girls or young boys, young non-binary individuals, as a lot of people would say. This is what you want them to grow up and grow up idolizing? Someone that doesn't even want to be a good Samaritan in a sense, because obviously she doesn't want to be a hero. So is she like, does she see herself as a good person? Does she like help out people at school? Does she like help people with their homework that she's friends with? Does she call friends when they seem like, is she a good person to like her friends and like the people that she's around? Or is she just like, I'm not about this hero nonsense, and like, oh, look at that, you dropped your food, sucks for you, like, you know? Like, what kind of person is that? But again, that's not the point. I can't believe that the creator of this created this character out of like the image of herself. So again, that like derives from the thought. So I know she has to think she's a good person. So why would she make a character that is like, oh my god this and oh my god that? Why would she make a character that literally like, you know, belittles the character that she's born from? Like, you know, there's a lot of people that enjoy Teen Titans. There's a lot of people that like Starfire. So why would you make it seem like Starfire's like this not so good of a mom just for the sake of having your own vanity project? Like, you totally mess up a character that already is established and probably could have a great family. But I guess you want to have that whole like, oh, you know, people are people and you never know how their family will go. And then I guess that's how you have this character come to be. But still, if this is what we're looking at now of comics coming out into the future, looking into the future, I'm not ready. You know, I don't really read that many comics as it is. I do read mangas. I really rather read novels. I mean, I read books and autobiographies and all that shit because I enjoy reading. But if I read something, it's usually a graphic novel, like, you know, of like Star Wars or something, I guess, because and the funny thing is, I mean, I say this is shit and stuff, and I know people would be like, how could you say that? Yeah, that's objective, and it's like, that's fine. But also, objectively, I think this would have been a better Disney show. You could have put this on the Disney Channel, I Am Not Starfire, from the creators of, well, from DC Comics gives you a Disney Channel original, I Am Not Starfire. That could have been fantastic. And then you could have had Miley Cyrus play the whoever the chick is, I forget her name, the Not Starfire chick, and you could have had, like, I don't know, Kat Von D play Starfire, and then you could have actually done a legit story and a little season and just done your little bullshit of whatever, and not had it be like a graphic novel that you're trying to like say is like a big deal in the DC Comics, when, like, you know, all the actual fans and the people that actually read comics because they've, you know, read them for years look at this and they're like, are they fucking serious? It's just what the fuck, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but watching this trailer does not excite me whatsoever. And, you know, if it was a movie, if this was like an actual animated movie, you know, like I just suggested, then of course I could be like, it's not good, whatever. But because it's a DC comic, and they're trying to, like, you know, actually fuck shit up within the comic realm that people actually enjoy. It's not just a movie that can be forgot about in a month or a week or a day. It's just like, bro, like, why would you do that? But again, I'm not the creator. I'm not this woman that made this. I don't work at DC Comics, so I have no control over what they want to do. So if they want this to be the future of DC Comics, so be it. All I'm going to say is a lot of us don't approve, and the people that do approve will approve of it today, and then they won't care about it in like a month or a week or a day. But then when you continue and you have like a whole series, you're not, by the time that series ends, you're either going to have no fans, or, you know, the industry is going to be just ruined completely beyond repair. And hopefully, you know, some new content or new comic creators and just new artists. You know, I have some friends that draw really well and like enjoy art and stuff, and like, you know, hopefully people like that can rise up and start making some great stuff that we can all get behind and get excited over. And you know, I saw that there's I don't know if I could tag a Twitter tweet to this, but I did see this Twitter thing that someone animated of like this really cool Superman thing. And, you know, Superman and Lois, the TV show, is going really well. And, you know, everyone's really excited about it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen, you know, videos and like clips and stuff, and it seems really cool. But I'm not too much of a Superman fan, but the little animated clip thing that they did of it was really cool, and I would totally love to see something like that, you know.
Ugh, cut the comedy, Kent. Do you really think that hiding behind a pair of glasses and acting like a complete pussy willow is gonna fool this ace reporter? You're cut.
Who are you?
Me am Superman.
I hope that we just have better comics coming out. In my opinion, and of what I like reading, I hope we get some better comics coming out with some, you know, just some cool action stuff going on. I just want my like, if it's a chick, fine. If it's a guy, cool. If it's a chick, that's actually cool too, because I like girls, for one, but two, in games where you can create characters, I do like creating chicks because it's always fun, because usually they have better outfits and shit, you know. Everywhere you go, you can find better outfits for women. So I have no problem with women at all. It's just how the media is treating women that's like, you know, we're not stupid. Same thing, like, you know, it's just, I don't know. Anyway, I hope the future in comics is good. Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of fucked right now, and it's going in many different directions, and I don't know how it's gonna go, but let's go ahead and switch over to the DCEU. That's what I wanted to get into the second half of this little video. So the comic industry is kind of whack, but now this is what just makes me laugh. This is why I wanted to start this channel and just talk about random shit and discuss movies and discuss stuff that I enjoy and just, make you laugh, make you think, is that my boy, it is so windy. We have so much content, right? We have so many DC animated series, animated series shows. We have so much DC content, video games, just so much DC stuff, right? We have a lot of it. And for some reason, we just can't make good films. Our films are shit. Like, ever since Val Kilmer's Batman, it's been a hit or miss. And we just can't get it right. And it took years, decades, for us to get an Aquaman movie. And Aquaman isn't even a favorite to a lot of people. A lot of people could give two shits about Aquaman. No offense to Aquaman, no offense to Jason Momoa. You did a great job. You brought the movie to the big screen. And then Johnny Depp and his wife had to get into some bullshit, and his wife had to be, of course, a part of Aquaman. So now Aquaman 2 is going through all this bullshit. It's like we can't, the DCEU cannot get a break. And the DCEU began ever since Michael Keaton's Batman. We all know that. The DCEU began with Michael Keaton. When the movies first started, that was when that happened. Because unfortunately, we never had a Marvel movie before Iron Man that everyone could go to and be like, I fucking love Marvel. So when Iron Man came out, the Marvel Extended Universe, that's when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started with Marvel's Iron Man. Iron Man did start the MCU, right? Like that, but Hulk came out first, right? And with Hulk, it was a brand new thing. It was like, oh my gosh, we get the Hulk on screen. It was very easy. Eric Bana was like, kind of whatever. The CGI was new, It was like, here we go. This is gonna be a marvelous Marvel movie, And we still keep a lot of the same parts from that movie. I mean, the General came back. Robert Downey Jr. shows up in The Incredible Hulk. After Iron Man had came out, but Eric Bana's original Hulk was like the initial, like, hey, we could maybe do a Marvel movie. Let's try Hulk. We had a TV show. Might as well try it. Like, when Michael Keaton's Batman came out, that was when the DCEU, hypothetically, in my opinion, that's when that shit began. So everything that came after that were rewrites, redos, reboots, remakes, but it was all in the DC extended universe. It was all multiverse. You want to think about multiverses in the Marvel universe? Multiverse, the DC universe. Every universe has been every different Batman movie. Some of them have sucked. Some of them have been good. So, you had the early Batmans, great. Val Kilmer's Batman Forever.
Exactly.
Every one of those movies was pretty much its own universe. From Val Kilmer's Batman, George Clooney's, all the villains, it was all an extended universe. Then, when Christopher Nolan came in and he made The Dark Knight, of course everyone lost their shit. Of course everyone was like, oh my God, this director's making Batman and he's making a trilogy, and like, then the third one wasn't that great, so we all kind of just dropped it. No one cared anymore. And then, we had Zack Snyder trying to make the Justice League, and everyone was excited that the Justice League was actually going to be done. But of course, Marvel was already like full steam ahead, They were already kicking out films. So when the Justice League was finally coming out, it was like, hey man, y'all better be good because we already got this whole backlog of movies that we could just go watch. You know, we don't even have to watch the Justice League film. So there was so much pressure on it. And then of course shit happened with Zack Snyder's family and he couldn't finish the movie. Josh Whedon takes over. All the bullshit that now has came out over Josh Whedon's film and the shitness that was Josh Whedon's film, now all that shit comes out and it's like, well, that movie was shit anyway. Zack Snyder got his movie out anyway. So, and the Batman is now being made with Robert Pattinson anyway. So it's like none of y'all motherfuckers are gonna keep a cohesive, you know, story together in the DC extended universe. So it really doesn't fucking matter what any of you guys do. It doesn't matter who comes out with whose cut or who does what. What matters is if it actually continues. Now, when you come up to date, I know I'm like going all over the place, so I hope you're following with me because I just rant, you know, I just get into it, and sometimes I lose my train of thought, and I'm just like, you know, and I'm trying to bring it back. So the fact that, like I said, Aquaman's not a favorite of anyone's. His movie came out before anyone. So why the fuck is that, right? Is it because of Jason Momoa? Maybe. Is it because Jason Momoa was a fan of Aquaman, and so Jason Momoa had more money, so they were able to do that one? Maybe. Is it because we're not really much of a fan of Ezra Miller, so we don't really care about him as an actor, but I guess the fact that The Flash is coming out, we're excited? Maybe. Is it the fact that I didn't even know the actor's name that was playing Cyborg, so he couldn't get his own movie? Maybe. Like, why couldn't you make Will Smith Cyborg instead of put Will Smith in Suicide Squad? That would have been probably so much better. Can you imagine Will Smith as Cyborg? Oh, my boy would be so good. Oh, man. Yeah, so it's just, you know, I feel like it's insane that we just can't, we have all these comics, all this DC stuff, everything, and we can't put together good movies, and we can't keep storylines together in these movies. But we have all this catalog of Marvel, and we went through halfway through the MCU, and now everyone is like, no, the comic origins are wrong. We got to change that. Fuck the comics. We got to just go fresh and, you know, start fresh with the movies, and we'll change everything. Fuck the comics. Which is funny because now, again, so back in DC world, that's what they're doing to the TV shows. I feel like Batwoman, never black, but now we have a black Batwoman. What the fuck? Smallville was great. Arrow had its ups and downs. And then after Arrow, Marvel was like, watch us do the Defenders. Like, I know you had Smallville and we were just watching in awe, but we'll do the Defenders and we'll try and just say, fuck you guys, you know? And so now, you know, we have Batwoman, all this DC. I haven't really seen Titans, and I hear Titans is pretty good, but like, I like Teen Titans, and when Teen Titans Go came out, I was like, I'm done. I'm fucking done, you know. So I don't know how Titans is, but I'll have to check it out and get into it because it looks like the season 3's trailer just dropped, so check that out if you haven't. But it looks pretty intriguing, and you know, I'll have to watch the first 2 seasons to see what's going on. But I don't know. I'll go back into. I don't want to be here all evening, so I'm about to get out of here because I want to just, you know, do something else with my time today. But I will be doing some other videos on just more on my thoughts on both Marvel and DC. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just crazy that when you see things and how things are changing, it's like, all right, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be for everybody. So this is going to be for everybody. But also, you have to take into consideration the past. You can't just erase the past. It's like, you know, it's like all this slavery stuff, you know, like, I'm not ever going to forget my past, but I'm also not in chains. Still not in chains. If you've seen any of my videos, I always try to make references that I'm still not in chains. So until someone comes over here and says, nigga, your ass needs to be in chains, what's wrong with you, bruh? Like, until that comes on, and until I break that fool's nose, and then end up going to jail and actually wearing cuffs, until any of that happens, then, you know, maybe I won't talk as much shit. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So this has been the Craig Little Orange Experience. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a fantastic Friday. You know, DC and Marvel, man, I hope they get their shit straight. And yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know, man, I'm fucking done. Also, I guess I kind of forgot to mention my favorite superhero, right? Like, my favorite superhero is Green Lantern. And that movie fucking sucked! I'll never forgive you, Ryan Reynolds. You're still a favorite actor of mine. I love you. But I will never, ever forgive you. Plus, it was Hal Jordan. You know? That's like the lame lantern. Where's John Stewart, my nickel? Just saying. Just saying. Oh my god, check out our newest comic book creators. Yas, queen, yas.